it is inevitable that you will hit a wall.
Okay, can we talk about the third year for a sec? Because honestly, to me, if you can make it through your third year, you can keep going. Whatever commitment, whether it's a relationship, your job, whatever it is, if you can make it through that third year, you can keep going. I'm gonna share a little story, a video, and a graphic to help you understand what I mean when I say third year. Personal anecdote, we love it. Right now, I'm in my third year of publicly pursuing my career as a musician.
So if you're watching this is Rolling in the Deep by Adele.
And I went to show some of my music to a fan, and they didn't know how long I was doing this, but after they asked, they were like, oh, you're in your third year. And I'm just like, what do you mean in your third year? Like, hello? They were like, oh, your third year is basically when like your investment and everything that you've done, this is the time when the seeds that you've sown start to grow. You start to become like a master of your craft. And I was like, this is interesting, tell me more. And so ever since then, I've kind of like thought of the third year as like, whoa, like what is this? I've been feeling changes, and with any investment that we make, we want to see a return. So after 3 years, your needs are going to start to pop up, and you have to be mindful that whatever questions or things pop up during this third year don't deter you from continuing to move forward towards what you want to achieve. I was scrolling on Twitter and I came across this video. Mind you, I've seen a lot of content lately talking about how influencers are probably going to start shifting back into normal life and moving away from content creation. And to me, that was very interesting because I'm like, it's been about 3 or 4 years since the pandemic. And when the pandemic hit, a lot of people took major career shifts and decided to start maybe something they were passionate about or always wanted to do, or became influencers, or started their journey on the internet, period. I said third grade. To me, I feel like the third year can be a test of resilience. How bad do you want it? Do you even want the thing that you're currently pursuing or investing in? It's that space where you can start to question if what you've been doing is enough, and that imposter syndrome or whatever you want to call it can start really knocking at your door like, hey, we've put a lot of time and energy in. Where is the reward? Where is the stuff that we've been working for? And if you're not patient enough, you could walk away from the success that is right at your front door. And if you're not patient enough, you could honestly walk away from the success that is right outside your door just because you didn't make it through your third year. I'm gonna play this video.
Today I made the decision that I don't want to be a full-time influencer. Context, I've been doing this for 3 years. It is my main source of income.
That part stuck out to me the most because I feel like money was the thing that was keeping her tied to doing something that she, at the end of the day, didn't really want to do. She also talked about how she had recently graduated and really wanted to try out being a full-time influencer. And I feel like at the end of the day, she didn't lose anything because she learned more about herself all in all.
I had to shift my attention and my focus towards thinking about marketing for brands, which is fine.
No, it was not, but she told herself that it was during the time so she could make her money. I'm not mad at it. But the reality is our truth will always catch up to us no matter what we're doing in life, so that we can actually go down the path that was meant for us.
But I'm just putting too much of my attention towards that instead of putting my time into actually doing the things that I really enjoy.
And just like that, her truth became so loud that she couldn't ignore it anymore, and she had to pivot.
I feel like I've just lost that part about myself because I'm so focused. I understand the benefits and I understand the fun in it. So I've done it for 3 years, but I'm so tired of it.
I've personally come to believe that the things that are meant for us will not drain us. When you're met at a crossroad, you have to ask yourself, number one, was I doing something that didn't really align with who I am deep down? And did I even know? Because a lot of times we need these experiences to learn more about ourselves so we can be like, hey, I'm not doing that no more. And number two, have we become a different version of ourselves that just doesn't enjoy doing what we were doing before?
Number two, I don't feel like I'm learning anything new or like I'm being challenged.
This is super important to evolution of self, because when we feel like we're not challenged, we actually feel like the accomplishments that we're getting are not for us, because that challenge gives us something to work towards.
Yes, I could always get better at strategy, at marketing. How can I make a video go viral? How can I get more views? How can I edit better? But I feel like that just gets a little bit repetitive.
AKA, she doesn't really care, and it's not improving upon the skill set that she desires to have long term. I honestly thought this video was very refreshing and authentic. Like, she's speaking her truth and what works for her. And it's beautiful to me that she's allowed herself to be honest with herself and go after what will make her feel a little bit happier with her day to day. Because seasons change and they don't always look like what we thought they would.
I'm done listening to other people. I'm going back to college because I desperately want and need the structure in my life again. And when you do this full time, it is inevitable that you will hit a wall. I have been literally suppressing the urge to go to school, the morals and the values telling me like, don't do this, don't do that. because I was chasing the dollar.
There's something about that third year that invites authenticity, that just allows us to speak our truth. And if we're speaking on relationships, there are so many relationships that after 3 years, they probably break up. Or to the people that have rules that they won't have sex with somebody until the 3rd date. Like the number 3 allows for a full cycle to pass. And if you know me, I like to do my research. So I pulled up the stages of commitment because I was curious. And I want you guys to look at this graph with me. On the x-axis, we have passage of time. On the y-axis, we have level of support for change. Let's just say level of support. So in the first year, you have the initial contact and the awareness, like, okay, I'm doing this, we're here, we're learning. In the second year, we have acceptance, the understanding, the decisions to implement whatever you've learned. So you're applying what you've learned in that second year. And as you're learning and growing, time is passing and the amount of people or the amount of support that you're getting is growing upwards. Even if it's, okay, first you started with 5 subscribers and now you have 10 subscribers and now you have 20 subscribers. Maybe it doesn't look like you went viral, but you have been making an impact on your community and actually been developing a strong, solid base of people who genuinely just love to see you show up and want to be a part of whatever you're doing. Okay, back to the graph. And that third year is about commitment. It's when you start to step into mastery. You're like, oh, I do this for real. And at the same token, you could be like, wait, do I really do this for real? And you can start to seek validation and reassurance where you actually don't need it because God and universe are about to bless you. I say all this to say, just in case you're in your 3rd year or 4th year and you're starting to feel a change in how you feel about what you're doing or how you do the things that you do, I want you to refer back to your why. Why are you doing this? What are you seeking to gain from it? Have you been learning or growing? Are there things that you could be doing differently or on a different scale? Maybe it's time to reevaluate and tweak versus reevaluate and run away from the thing that you've been investing in. Because regardless, it's a blessing that you've made it to your 3rd year. So be proud of all that you've done and invested to get to this point. There are people who have spent 10 plus years to get to where you're at because they've been patient and diligent. Everybody's journey looks different. And that 3rd year can really bring about some questioning, but I don't want you to question all of the efforts you've put in. Don't let your 3rd year be your last year if you don't want it to be. Refresh that energy. Do something to celebrate and commemorate the fact that you have been committed for 3 years or 4 years or however long you've been committed. No matter what we're doing, it all takes time. It's just about being real with yourself as you go throughout the process. And what the 3rd year can show you is whether or not you really want this. Whether it comes from a place of you're chasing greed or just money, or there actually is something in you that feels really connected and wants to keep going with what you're doing. It's all about you. Are you getting what you need out of this season? Is it filling you? Is it bringing you some sort of substance? Is it allowing you to exist in flow or force? Is there a lot of resistance around it to the point where you feel like this is harming me? Check in with yourself. The 3rd year just means it's time to check in, refresh, and reset. It doesn't mean it's time to give up or quit. Because quitting... I do want to say that the women in those videos did not quit per se, but decided to shift their energy in a way that better suited the next season for them. And they mentioned it in their videos. I just decided to crop because they were super long. It wasn't meant for someone with a resilient spirit like you. And I know that if you can make it through your 3rd year, you can make it through anything. Oh, and before I forget, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe. I'll see you on the flip. Bye.